All right. So we'll switch it up here.
Yeah. Whoa, the man, the legend. Jason the
How's it
Great.
going, Dr. Raff?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was trying to join on my phone, and for some reason, it does not let you click accept.
Hmm. I don't know
And by
why.
it, I mean, yeah, I don't have very dexterous fingers, so.
So how are you doing? How are you doing? I see that you are well prepared, judging from what you wear.
Oh, I sleep in this. This is
Okay.
my night outfit. Yeah, always stay in character. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Yeah, pretty good as well. Yeah, lots of work, but also this is part of the job, right? Having you here, and so this good part.
There we go. Good
Yeah,
to connect.
yeah, good to connect. Thank you
Oh,
for finding a time for us. I'll try to keep it shorter than yesterday. Yesterday we had almost 2 hours. I know that we should somehow be able to do it in 1 hour, as you asked. So yeah, I'll try
I'm
to.
all about quality over quantity, even though my first 2 minutes doesn't really say that.
Um, okay, I think that this will be a great workshop. Just as a hint to well, not to you because you already know it, but to others who listen and participate in this workshop. I already know something about the game because I used to play the early versions of the game, so yeah, I think that I know the basic features, but I also know that there are many new features, so we'll probably cover them as well. There will be a part of our workshop where I will ask about retention. So I believe that this new feature with onboarding features probably affect retention. So this is probably the part when we'll be able to discuss it. I don't know how to introduce you. I was thinking about this, and I was about to say that your role in the company is actually the legend.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, the legend.
That's good. That massages my ego just enough.
Yeah. So Jason the Great, the legend in Legends at War team. I'm Dr. Rafa Swan. Yeah, but just Rafa, CEO here at ChillGG Challenger Project. I already can tell that we have more viewers than yesterday, 14 at the very beginning. It was, I believe, 10, maybe 11 yesterday when we started. So yeah, growing. Okay, the first part is actually the interview with you. And I
All
have
right.
yeah. I have some questions. I have some questions to you. The first one would be about your favorite game, but the game you actually, I know that you probably play Legends at War a lot, but when you don't play Legends at War, do you play anything or not?
Yeah. So this is a tough question. So I am a longtime gamer. Obviously, anyone who's in the space is going to be a big fan of gaming. And there's something so powerful about nostalgia that whenever someone asks for my favorite games, it's so difficult to give a more modern answer just because like I feel like they've marinated me. So I have to say, just because, and this is going to sound, if anyone thought I was some sort of warrior, some sort of hardcore manly man. I am 6'4". I'm sitting down, so you can't check that. A large man. You might be surprised by this, but I have to give the answer to I think my favorite game of all time because it's been going for 20 years, a little over 20 years, and there's so many iterations. It's Pokemon. It's a surprising answer. The Pokemon game, I remember the first day when I was in fourth grade when the Pokemon video game came out on Game Boy, and there was this kid named Curtis sitting on the playground. He was on top of a slide. He was playing on a Game Boy. And I was like, "What are you doing playing on your Game Boy?" And he said, "I'm catching Pokemon." And I was like, "That's a show, you moron," because I was a nice child. And he showed me, and he had caught a Rattata on his Pokedex. And I feel like that's as close as I hope to ever get to heroin because I like the rush I felt I went out and got the game. I played the game for 17 hours the first day, sitting backwards on a chair for no reason. I could have, spun around, but I didn't have time. I stopped. And from then, I played basically almost every iteration of Pokemon. Since then, of course, there's others. I like the classic RPGs. Most recently, I'm super excited for the new Spider-Man that's coming out because my second favorite game was Spider-Man for GameCube. I camped out for that game. I followed it, the Spider-Man 2 game, with the first open world superhero environment. Then they came out with Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man by Insomniac Games, and Spider-Man 2 by Insomniac Games is coming out in October. So that'll be my second answer, but I got to give it up to Pokemon.
Whoa. Well, yeah. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned Game Boy, because I as a child, I always wanted to have a Game Boy, but somehow I got it too late. This is my feeling, that I got the Game Boy when it's actually too late. Which one did you have? The white or the transparent, or maybe other one?
I'll give you the full walkthrough of my Game Boy experience. This is, of course, before Pokemon games were available on the main consoles. So my first Game Boy, one of my best friends, Luke, had the original Game Boy, the giant block gray one. When I got it, it was, I believe, 1999, September 13th. I got the yellow Game Boy Pocket. The Game Boy Pocket had just come out. I remember that because it was my birthday. We had a camp out that day. It was again, heroin. It was pure. It was amazing. After that, I went for the purple see-through translucent Game Boy Color.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was the only one. It was the only one in stock, so we went purple translucent. And then to keep that theme, when the Game Boy Advance came out, I also went purple, or it might even, it was purple translucent, and you had little flashlight that you'd add on as an attachment. And then from that, I went Game Boy DS, and then I think they might be still coming out with Game Boys. And then I was like, I'm just a console man.
I didn't even know that there was a Game Boy DS, to be honest.
Oh yeah, dual screen. Yeah, I had Game Boy DS. The last time I used that Game Boy DS was in high school when our power went out. I used it as a flashlight.
It was Nintendo DS, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, now I get it. Cool. So you are a hardcore gamer. You started early.
That's what I was really into it. Of course, I played the classic. I played World of Warcraft. I'm now, I think, 15 years clean. It was very difficult to break the World of Warcraft habit. I have friends that had Slash played for a year. So out of high school, 1 year out of high school was completely played in game. I like Skyrim, Oblivion, all the Halos, the Call of Duties. Always liked FPS to challenge people. I get really into FPSs. And yeah, RPGs, just anything where I can play as a character, level them up, see those developments in my character always gets me excited. And just grinding. I like grinding. Both on the dance floor and in my character creation.
Cool. So, but I think that you didn't mention any RTS or, I don't know, turn-based strategy game. So how did you end up with creating a strategy game?
So that's a great question. So, of course, I did like strategy games, but really what drew me in is the city builder component.
Okay, got it.
Because a lot of people come from the strategy side, which of course I played. I played Forge of Empires. I have it on my computer. I played those. But what I like, for whatever reason, is I love watching a city evolve and build and optimize it. I remember missing a lot of time playing SimCity, the Roller Coaster Tycoon games, all those. I really love optimizing city building and seeing how that strategizes. And there's something about, I think it evolves off of the look of the character creation. I love seeing I have a new armor, I have a new sword, this. I like seeing that I start with maybe, say, Roller Coaster Tycoon. I start with a small stack stand, and then eventually I have a giant arcade game, which, by the way, I think the most corrupt thing I ever did in a video game, and this opened my eyes to the world. It was a PS2 knockoff of Roller Coaster Tycoon, and you could set the cost of a prize and the chance of winning. And I found out that if you set the cost of a prize to the largest thing, it was a $10,000 prize, but the chance of winning was 0, everyone would give you money, and then everyone would be angry. And that's how I funded the whole park. I don't think it's ethical. I wouldn't do it in real life, but I really was like, wow, this is probably what they do to me, because I lose $200 every time I go to the boardwalk. I can't stop.
What?
If they have a big prize, because it's a challenge, it's a personal challenge to me. I've won stuff. I grew up at the boardwalk, so I've won like bikes at the boardwalk. I've won the big prizes, but like every time I just can't stop going in. So from that point of view, like the Legends at War, when I first saw it and I saw that you could build this city fully 3D, spin it around, upgrade the houses, upgrade the castle, upgrade the army, upgrade your hero, upgrade. It was like, okay, this is perfect. And then I saw that I could do strategy and attack people, which it's not my strongest suit. Because I'm always like, why don't we just make a bunch of allies? Like, let's make a giant alliance. I like the player versus environment component.
Okay.
Really.
Okay.
Even when I play World of Warcraft, there's the PvE, PvP servers, player versus environment. I was always at all my buddies, they were in like the top clans. They were raiding, they were going against each other. I was there just trying to make a life. My shaman was out there. I was mining minerals. I was going out. I was killing some Morlocks. I was killing some crabs. I was really just trying to get the stuff. So my gameplay is always like friendly, interact. I love the interaction with players, but my personal gameplay is city building, diplomacy, and I like the grinding component of having to earn my way to get cool things.
So I have a recommendation for you. Maybe you already know it, but I used to play a Civilization 5, and there was an extension where they added, I believe that this was Venice. And yes, I think it was Venice. But at least I know that there was a one nation like this. So let's say that this was Venice. And this nation couldn't get any more cities, couldn't capture any cities, only were able to somehow grow by getting friends or allies and using diplomacy. So you should try this.
Oh, absolutely. Though
Yeah.
I'll also probably, because I never got into Civilization, but my buddies did. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Gandhi is bloodthirsty.
Doesn't look like he is, but well, yes, they attack as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that's Gandhi for you.
Yeah.
That's my boy. I'll definitely try that out because it's just everyone has a different gameplay. Like you see here, we have Stuart Rice in the audience. He's actually our first champion. So he's our first co-champion of the tournaments. He's a powerhouse. Suzuki really crushed the last tournament. We have a bunch of people here, PT Storm, and of course Kyle from our team. Seeing a lot of people, but it is interesting to see different gameplay strategies. Because for instance, last night I was building a port city. This morning I woke up to Stuart Ray's trash talking with our other players. They had a giant battle. I think Anticott tried to take him out in the night, and he was obliterated. So it is cool seeing how everyone plays differently.
Cool. You already mentioned a bit about the game because we know that your game is in some part a city builder, right? There you can make some alliances. You can attack some enemies, maybe as an alliance as well. I used to play a game Travian. I don't know, this was a browser game, Travian. Yeah. And it was like you are entering an alliance to plan a bigger attack on other players. So yeah, you should try it. Browser games.
Travian? Travian. There we go. All right. Look, you're giving me some homework.
Yeah. Try it. It was popular. I believe it was popular maybe, when I was starting my, I don't know when, but somewhere maybe 18 to 20 years ago. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah. I think that was maybe, I don't know, 19, maybe 20. So this is it. It was an interesting game. Okay, thank you for this introduction. We already know that you are a hardcore player with you can get addicted, right?
Yes, I have a problem.
So you have to watch it. Okay, cool. I won't make this section longer. Maybe we'll cover some other questions later. Let's go to the introduction of the game, because first I would like to present some basic features of the game, describe what's the game about. I will let you share your screen if you want. If you don't want to share your screen, I captured screen myself today with a bit of the gameplay, so we can go this way if you want.
Go ahead, Raph.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, let's make it like 10 minutes with some, general concepts, features, and we'll dig deeper after this introduction.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So what I'm going to try to do is switch to my phone because the mobile version is always better for streaming on Discord.
Okay.
Now, let us hope I can join the stage.
Let's see. Switch. Can you hear me, Raf?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The gods are with us.
Okay. I don't see your screen though. I see your avatar right now. Yeah, now you're out of the stage. Okay, invited and accepted. Okay, and you're back again. Yes, we see
It's
you.
night. All right. Okay. All right. We're doing pretty great so far. I wonder if there was an update on the mobile version for me here. Let's see. Do you have the I'm not getting the option to share my screen yet. Do you have to enable it for me, Raf?
No, should be available. We tried it yesterday, so it was available for Rafał, also the other Rafał. But
Oh, here we go. All right. It was hidden away, just like my self-respect. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I will now mute myself and make your screen share bigger, just to see it better.
Okay. So can everyone still hear me?
Yes.
All right. So here is Legends at War. So see here's a lovely plot. I actually don't want you to see this land beforehand. So I'll start here. Actually, I'll start at my main city. So when you start Legends at War, you get this kind of giant plot of land. You can see I have kind of all these hectares here. I have programmatically placed trees and stones that I could use strategically or for resources, and it's all built around a central castle. This is what controls my whole city. You see, this is all built in 3D Unity. It's beautiful. I can see everything historically accurate, all real-time lighting. Look at this. It's nice to see this guy. Even though I'm on a presentation, he's working hard in the quarries. So what I do here is I build up around my central castle, and I try to become as strong as possible. So here, my castle, you can see it's level 13. Beautiful stone, a little bit of woodwork. Over here, I have stables. This is where I train my knights. Over here, I have a lumber mill. Over here, I have my barracks. I have a marketplace, tavern, and so forth. And it's a whole bustling town. And what's cool about it, I talked about how much I love city building, is you get to actually start with just a plain castle and work up from there. So when I first came here, my castle was randomly generated here with some sticks and stones, and I built around it. The first thing I did is I built these beautiful houses. You see, here is where my people live. I am a cruel god, so I'm going to destroy this person's house just so you can see it from the start. So we'll finish this. Okay, so I want to show you kind of the process of building here so you can see how cool it is. At the top, you can see I have a lot of wood, I have a lot of iron, stone, food, and my population is pretty low. So I'm going to build a living house here. Living houses, I build my population. I can choose wherever I want it. I like this being my living quarters, keeping close to the king if they get out of line. So when I start here, everything kind of looks like, straw and twigs. It looks like a very, very, very basic setup. So I'm going to finish it up here. You can see we put away the workers, and now I have a nice straw hut. I can, heat up my soup. I have some wood there. I'm going to level it up so I get more population. Alrighty, look, I have a chimney stack. Things are looking great for me. All right, we're going to level it up again. Look at that. I have an awning for when I have some friends over. I have a little bit of a window. I got a promotion at work. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, we have an addition. The housing prices are going up. My mortgage payment's going to increase, but it has resale value. So now I'm going to do it one more time, and we're going to power level here because I am rich in game. So you can kind of see how quickly this changes. So let's see how far I can take it. Look, I have some lacquer, siding. And what's cool about this is everything we use here was available during the 100 Years War period. So this game is set during kind of a made-up civilization, but it's taking place during the 100 Years' War, which was a little over 100 years of warfare between England and France, where it's tumultuous. You know, people would betray their cousins, their friends, their allies, all for a chance to get a seat on the throne, which hopefully Raph doesn't do to me. So you see here, I don't have enough stone for this castle, so I'm gonna have to go around and play elsewhere, find some way to get resources, and find some way to move about. So over here, I just picked up some wood, I have some iron, I have some chances to make some additional features like this dungeon. We'll talk about this later. As Raph said, that we have some new features coming out that are very, very exciting that are going to help improve our retention, improve our gameplay, and everything. But let's start with a wall. So, as we talked about before, I like to focus on diplomacy. I don't like to think anyone wants to murder me. So now that I showed where I am, I guarantee Ray's Rice in the audience is going to murk me. So I'm going to build one of these walls here. Let's buy some extra builders. And you'll see how cool this is. So this is a defense capability to make sure that people don't come and attack my area. I'll spin around so you can see the progression. Again, this is what I really love to do. So just some quick progressions. How quickly we can see this changes. All right, it's already 2 stories. And each time this makes it more difficult for my enemies to go through. So already I've added some stone. I have to upgrade my castle, so can't go any further. But what I can do is add a gate. Now imagine I had a full wall there. I'd want a gate so my allies can go through. So I'd put a gate in here. So now it's easy for my people and my allies to enter through without being slowed down. And anyone who's played our game knows when you're trying to go over a wall, you're very slow and you're easy to get picked off. So over here we have a temple. This is how I make sure that I kind of upgrade. I can buy other cities. So when I level up this, I can gain more cities. Right now, I can only own 3 cities because I'm on level 3. Because I have other things, location ownerships. I can now get merc areas, which we'll talk about. I can get more people in my clan. There's a lot of cool tech trees here. But everyone always wants to see the army. So let's go there. So here you can see first we got our city research. These city techs, this is a tech tree. Part of the city building experience is I work my way up. I can say I can upgrade this, and I get extra plots for housing. I can get extra plots for farms, get extra plots for barracks, so I can grow my armies accordingly. Same thing with, I can speed up my training, so I'll show you that in a second. But here, let's look at my army. So every army is headed up by a hero, a legendary hero. It's going to be very cool. We'll talk about the RPG component in a little bit. But here's my hero. I'll show you on the top left. He's named after my father, Zephyrus Fulton, a traditional American name. You'll see here, I haven't equipped anything on the left or right. On the left, you can see I can equip a necklace, a sword, 2 rings. I can a shield on the right, a helmet, a breastplate, footing, and I also have inventory. I haven't battled too much with this guy, so I don't have much, but I am level 12, as you can see on my skill tree. So if I go to my skill tree, you can see, despite the way I talked about city building, I want to be ready for combat because I like to fight boars. If you've joined our Discord or watched me play, I really like the PvE. I like going and fighting bandits. I like going and fighting boars. I like going and fighting the computer. So here I have a bunch of different leveled up combat mechanics. I have 3% increase to my hit points of shielded units. I have 6% increased attack of melee and polearm units. Over here I have formation training, increasing hit points to polearm units. Now logistics. This is how easy it is to kind of move things between your cities, move things inside the cities. As you can see, I've only put a very, very limited amount in here. And actually, I believe my hero started with this. This is marching. So this increases the movement speed of my campaign movement. So when I set out a campaign, this is a real-time strategy game that's massive, designed for a lot of players. So if I'm playing with my city building, it's pretty instant. But if I'm going out for a campaign across the map, it can take a long time. So 5% is significant. That can save you, very, very useful minutes if you're trying to go help out a friend or try to capture a city in the middle of the night. And governance, I have 1, optimize routes while your hero is in an available state. Increase the speed of trading starting from this city. So very, very cool. You'll see 4 heroes, but only 1 is stationed here. I have the others at my other places. Maybe we'll make an army here. So I'll show you my edit army. So here you can see Zephyrus or Zephyr. Oh, so he's not named after my dad. That's an N. Zephyrus Fulton. Right now that's algorithmically generated. So you can see my skills. Again, we could talk about this. Very easy. I can see all the different skills that are added. Inventory, I can see where my inventory would be. So I have a power of 8 on this guy, level 12, pretty good. Here's where I build my army. So you see on the bottom, I have kind of my area. This is where they sit in my units. So it's a strategy game. You're going to want to have your tanks in your first unit. So this is an Arbalaster. He kind of is a mid-range shooter. He has a shield and a little crossbow. We have our heavy infantrymen, super slow, super strong. You can see his attack over there on the right and his power. Very, very slow. So he's going to slow down my army. When I add these guys in, I can make an army full of the biggest tanks in the world, but I'm going to get outmaneuvered in PvP because people just run around me and shoot me from afar. Over here, I have my archer. Of course, not much armor, not much he could do, but for long range, he's going to help me out a lot. And then I have my just general infantryman. This guy, he enlisted. He enjoys working with his hands, has a great home life. He's my, really actually, I'm going to put my heavy infantryman. That's number one. He's my tank. Number two, I'm having my infantryman. 3, I'm having my archer. 4, I'm having my Arbalaster. You can see here, to confirm it, I go through. I've just updated my army. And you can see over here a quick view of them. So they're sleeping because I don't have them do anything. They're sleeping on the job. We have our 543 infantrymen, 187 Arbalesters. So I have to make sure that my heavy infantryman goes in the right place, and my archer. So I have 5 people there because one of them is also a scout. I'm not using a scout right now, but scouts are used to kind of check out other areas. So one thing we haven't talked about is really what's represented on the blockchain. My hero, my units, artifacts that I haven't even made and added, and of course my city. My city and buildings are available. They're mine to own, and I could trade them. I could build them up, and I could sell them if I wish. So here, I'm going to take you to the forge. So like we said, there's items there that I'm not using, I'm not playing with. Here's where I can make a lot of them. Of course, when we have a quest available, you can, earn a helm, you can earn a shield, you can earn a sword from our tournaments. But here, I can build things. I can equip a new melee weapon. I can equip updated pole arms. I can equip better cannonballs. This all augments the power and abilities of my armies, and then my heroes. So I can have a practice sword, practice longbow, my level 0 stuff, or I can level it up and get, simple, or anything I want really. Quality, excellent pole arms, excellent steel and arrow boots. We'll talk about it again during our RPG component, but you'll see that you'll be able to actually add those to your heroes and see how they look and feel. They'll of course take damage, and you have to repair them over there. So let's go out. Well, first of all, I want to show you here. Here's some available quests. I'm going to set someone. You can see I get 1 silver. I get 1,000 hero experience points, so I can level up my hero. If I explore an enemy camp, we'll do it in a second. Over here is kind of a worldwide chat. Ooh, look at that. Some really nice chats from Raised Rice. Oh, there we go. It's a very cool game, especially when there's a big war going on. That's true. We've had some giant tournaments. So we had 3 tournaments previously where we had our last tournament had up to 25,000 players try to go in, fight against the Mountain from Game of Thrones, Hafthor Bjornsson, in a 7-day battle. Actually, a 14-day battle in our last one. That was very cool to watch. We're super excited for that. We'll talk about it a little bit more in a second. So this is our map. So you can see here on the top right, I'm on an island. There's kind of 5 separate main islands you could choose from. When you join, you choose where you're going to go. So you can say, hey, if I have a bunch of friends, I want to get an island, and you're randomly placed. So I was randomly placed here, and you can see I captured my spot. Let me just do this for a quick fix. I captured my spot right below me because whenever I see a local, that's kind of an NPC, or if I see someone with a name, I can go declare war on them. So you see locals here, I can claim that area. You saw before in my talent tree, I can own mercenary castles. I can claim this land. I can go to so here's one player. Player 2590723. They logged in with a guest account so they could reset their username and password. But if I wanted to, and this is not their only city, I can go in and claim that for myself. It'll be like a 13-hour battle, but if I'm victorious, that'll be my new waterfront city. So for right now, I'm going to start a campaign so you can see what that looks like. So let's see my hero. Okay, I choose my hero, my units. I can speed them up. I'll pay 5 gold just so it's going to be really, really quick. And you'll see here, because I added my infantrymen, super, super slow. So while we wait, I'm going to show you the beauty of my new port city. So you might say, Jason. You might even say, Jason the Great. What's the benefit of a port city? That's a great question. Well, as you first knew, I grew up at the boardwalk, so I love the water. But here, that little lighthouse, that means I can build a shipyard and I can sail from island to island when I'm ready. So this is needed. If you want to escape your island, particularly in a tournament, if you want to get to the mainland and really fight for a seat of power, you have to claim one of these shore areas, protect it. Oh, let's inspect for now. I'll show you this. You have to protect it, and then you have to build a shipyard and travel the seas. One of the cool features we're still working on, not released yet, will be naval battles. So beyond just the real-time battles you can do in the game, you're going to be able to fight at sea. You'll see here, I have to walk over these rocks because these algorithmically generated rocks are killing me. It slows down my movement considerably. So if this was owned by another player, they can easily station their archers right around this area and just obliterate me. So that's what some people do. Some very smart players will build a gate and some walls around the entrance. They'll trap you there and they'll just destroy you. Or what they'll do, and one of our mods did this, John Montori, actually, I was doing a presentation. He built some sort of labyrinth that I was stuck in, and he just obliterated me before I could do anything. As you'll see, this is all blacked out. That's because it's the fog of war. So when I'm entering a city, I have no idea where anything is. As, of course, it comes into view, I'll be able to see better, and I'll be able to see where their castle is. I'm just taking a guess that it's in the center here. It might not be. So one of the benefits when you're doing PvP is you'll send a scout out early. Scouts can be just 4 scouts. They're very, very quick. They can't attack, but what they can do is run in and check out a village for you. So usually ahead of a PvP battle, I'll have them go in there. I'll have them look around so I know where to attack when I go. So while they slowly walk, we're going to go back to our hop yard. So I showed you over here. Of course, you can see, look at that castle. Terrible. Level 7. We're going to level that up right now. We're going to see how beautiful it can get. Oh, look at that. Already such an improvement. You can see everything's kind of very, very basic. I have my storehouse is pretty large. That's why I can store a lot of things here. I can also freely trade between my areas. But here's what's cool. Right now, you see that this little grouping here? This is where I am building a beautiful moat. So I can slowly create a natural moat around my city that is hell on earth for players to go through. You'll see this. If you get a waterfront area and you build it correctly, people really have to work together and get their clan together to help you out, because this slows down. I'm not kidding when it looks like your army is walking through molasses if someone's built the proper moat. So really, not enough resources. But you can see here, I can essentially make Venice. I just completely clear this waterway. I can build it however I want, and this can limit the speed of any invading armies. So if they're trying to get close and capture this castle, it can buy me much needed extra time to call my reinforcements, to call my armies back, to call my friends who can, pay gold to get here very, very quickly and help me stop them before it's too late. So you can see here, let's see, train some armies so I can show you some different resources. Here we go, stable. You can see I can get my scout. We talked about them there. They're good against wild animals, but they're not really going to be helping you in any battle. They're very quick. I could do a horseman. I could just, that's kind of a polearm guy on a horse. I could do a horse archer. That's an archer that's very quick, can maneuver easily. Or a knight, just like I said, super slow, super, super slow, super expensive, but they're very, very powerful. So it's great to have in your army if you build it correctly. You got a hunter. So I use a lot of hunters. So you can see here, they're not great against shielded and armor, but look at that. They have double damage against wild animals. So if you're going PvP, you got to build a different army. That was tough for me to realize. Archers, great against polearm, not too great against armor or shielded. And arbalesters, they're not great against shielded or armored, but 6 against everyone else. And then look at that. Beautiful. 16 damage, not great against shielded and armor. Again, it's going to be difficult to take someone out ranged. Shielded and armor, we can do it. Now, our cheapest here is militia. These are the guys that were just trying to walk to the local grocery store and conscript it in your army. Not great. We have the spearmen. Not a lot of armor on them. But they're good against wild animals and cavalry. We have their infantrymen. Of course, these are the guys I have in the front. Heavy infantrymen. And then there's a special one here. So as you'll notice, this is our captain. He's not available in any of our other cities. I need a captain to go on my boat. But you'll see I need some extra stuff here. So what I need to do is make beer, which is one of my favorite pastimes. So I'll have to go through and I'll have to collect wheat. I'll have to make sure I can make this ale so I can hire my drunken sailor captain, and I can finally build this shipyard. So that's one of my favorite things. It takes a lot of work to get a ship, but it's super cool to be able to travel across these areas. So let's go check to see if I have seen anything at my campfire. Again, we can see here Hunter's Hut. This is where I go to fight boars, a bunch of, boars. We got wolves, we got bears. I know a lot of people are asking to domesticate animals, myself as well. We'll see if that happens. Royal Forest, this is where I can go loot, but I can also, you can see a little treasure chest there. I can loot, but a lot of bandits like to hang out there. Over here, Afro Light, that's another player. Is that also Afro Light? Looks like it. So that's another player I can go wage war on or become friends with. Let's see. Let's look at our buddy here. Let's see his profile.
Jason.
So May 20. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this it's like 20 minutes already.
Oh man, I get addicted. All right, let's switch back.
I think that you should consider streaming this game live on Twitch.
Absolutely. See, this is, again, if we were playing Pokemon, you would have told me that 17 hours later. All right, we're going to switch here, but we will get a little bit more in depth. We'll talk about the RPG component. I'm going to switch back to my desktop.
Okay. Thank you very much. I made some notes, so I already noted what? I already noted that you have like probably one of the biggest features: building the city, managing the city. Two different kinds of cities, right? So a regular city and the coastline city, right?
Well, technically 3 different types of cities. We didn't go over the mercenary city.
Just give me a sec. I just want to make a short summary just to have a right note. So so there is a city building. I also spotted a research component.
Yep.
So what's the research used for? I already understood that you use the temple to control more cities, right? And the rest of the research is used what for?
The rest of the research is based on kind of augmenting gameplay. So some of it's based on augmenting speed. So you can increase the speed you could build things, increase the speed you can train troops. Another one is just you can increase the amount of buildings you can make. So I'm limited in the buildings I can make because if I start a city, for example, I'm planning a city and I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build 20 houses. And I spend all my resources building 20 houses. That's great. But now my people have nothing to do. I don't have any resources I spend it. So I have to earn my way to the next stage of civilization.
Okay.
So it's farmlands, from lumber mills, from everything. I have to learn how to build my city properly. And then once I get past there, it's the metagame. So it's like I'm trying to find ways to improve by 5% speed here, 10% speed here, ways that I can expand my territory more efficiently.
I get it, but the small percentages, I believe they count when you encounter any enemies, right?
So it depends. So again, if you have people with 20,000 person armies, 100,000 person armies, you're going against there, and you and your friends have plus 5% to melee. I mean, that adds up with all those armies fighting against each other. It's that tight difference, especially when you're playing in a tournament. Like those do add up, and then it's also like we can't discount the speed components. Because if you have allies in your area and you're being attacked, we didn't talk much about this because it's difficult to show in real time. But an attack phase can take 9 to 13 hours. It's not you're not sitting there, full time going back and forth. You're building your trebuchets that are weakening the buildings and whatnot. And other players have a way to get there and fight you. And after you destroy the buildings, you have to kind of capture the city. So after you could have friends come over there and they have to help protect your trebuchet because someone's going to destroy the trebuchet.
Okay.
And if someone can move 10% faster or they have gold, they can get to you quicker and they can stop a battle.
Okay,
stop a war.
So this is probably the important part of the game. There's also a question from Harry about building communities, treaties, team play, maybe even trading, right? So what about this diplomacy part? How it works?
That's perfect.
What are the options?
So, Seal Harry, great questions. So that's a big part of it we didn't even kind of show here. So I can do kind of two different things. I can do individual unions and I could do larger clans. As you saw, one of the research components is I can grow the size of my clan. So maybe when I start, I can only have 5 people in my clan. I could build that up to more and more and more as I prove that I'm adept in the game to lead a large enough clan. So individual union would be like Raph and I are next door neighbors, and we're like, hey man, I have no idea who you are. It's pretty rough out here. We're in a tournament. What if we do a union and we both agree that we're just kind of going to protect each other? We're going to protect each other. If someone attacks me, you'll come help me, if vice versa. That's individual unions. You could say, I could even do something like Raph can be like, well, I'm Dr. Raph. So I got something for me. Your online dating profile is pretty good. So I'm like, you know what, Raph? If you go in on this, I'll give you 10,000 stone. Like that's great. I can offer someone 10,000 stone. I can offer someone 1,000 gold. Or you can say, that's good for me today, but I need that lifetime earnings. So I can offer you, I'll give you 100 stone a day as long as we have a treaty. Or I can give you 10 gold a day. And there's different ways you could, work diplomacy. Then after that, you can create a clan. A clan, you have to be accepted in. You have a clan leader, and then everyone kind of joins in on that. You say, I'll protect you in these giant battles and wars, and we can all work together. You join my clan, you'll hold my banner, we'll all protect each other. What gets interesting is you could betray your clan for your union, and that's happened before. So, if you have a clan, you remember when you start, especially a tournament. So this happens in the tournaments. When you start, to make it fair, you choose your island. There's 5 islands. Each one has kind of a different lore. You start there. You might start on opposite ends of the island, so it makes sense to make a union. You could get really close to this person. What happens when a union and a clan, they're both in the battle on opposite sides? You choose which one to fight for, right? So we've had people with their clan attack someone in a union, and the person had to turn on their clan. They came in and they fought and they protected their union. It creates some really interesting dynamics. So that's a big part. And now, treaties, you could say, you could create war. I can go, you saw Afro right there. I could have declared war on him. I could say, you know what? I could write a message. I could be, like, hear ye, you will be destroyed. You'll be razed to the ground. And then he could be like, listen, man, I'll give you 1,000 peace treaty. Let's just not do this right now. That's the back and forth there that's possible. But regardless, there's a marketplace in your city that you do free trade around. I can offer up, I'm like, listen, guys, I need 10,000 wood. You could be a stickler. You could say, oh, Pokemon Yellow, Harry. See, I was red-blue. I had red-blue, Pokemon Yellow. I switched right to, I think, silver, gold, and then emerald, and then ruby. We'll go down the whole Pokemon rabbit hole. But I just saw that, so I had to acknowledge it. But in that marketplace, I'll be able to go, hey, I really need this right now. I could set it up. I can offer to my clans, my unions, or just the general marketplace. And you could search for available stuff, and you can see who works with you. If someone's asking for 1,000 stone, and you have a surplus of stone, you can maybe get wood for them. You can request different things. That's a good question, Harry. So could a token be incorporated into a trade? Right now, no, but that's a good option to work in there to sweeten the deal. We do have our in-game currency, so it is possible. So we'll have to talk with our blockchain team.
Maybe 2 questions from me at this point. One will be actually maybe somehow connected with what Harry's asking about gold. So you spent much gold when you were doing presentation. What's this gold?
Absolutely. So gold is our in-game token. Right now, it's not launched yet, so it's as an in-app purchase there. I would not recommend playing like I just did. I played that so we didn't spend an hour. So gold wasn't real to me there. But gold is a way that you can, of course, you'll be able to earn it in quests and different things you do in game. Or if you join our Discord, we usually have like a few times a week different challenges. Right now, we have a challenge ending in 2 hours where you share a picture of your castle. We've had things share your lore, share a picture of you fighting boars. It's a way to, give back to our community. But gold really buys you time and buys you heroes and heals your heroes. So there's 3 different uses. So when I'm building, I can do 2 things with gold. I can, 1, speed up my thing. So you'll see that it costs more the higher level I'm at. So when I first start, if it's under level 5, usually it's free gold to kind of speed up. If it's over 5 minutes, it might be 10 gold, over 10 minutes, 20 gold, so on and so forth. When you get in late game stuff and your castle might take 19 hours to upgrade, it would say 19 hours or like 150 gold. Do you want to spend that? I don't know how if you're in a tournament right now, that might make sense. So you can get the next feature to protect yourself. It's all kind of dependent on that. Another one is your heroes. So I felt this a lot. When you first capture a city, this is one of the big benefits of capturing a city. You get a free legendary hero. Great. You need a hero to lead your army. So now that castle, that city has an army to protect it or to go out and fight. But if you want extra heroes, each hero costs 30 gold. So if you want to go to a tavern and hire other heroes, you have to pay 30 gold. Now, if one of those heroes dies, you have to pay to revive them. You have to go to the temple and say, guys, I need something. I need them back. It also costs money to get them. So it is very, very cool there.
So basically you use gold to save time, right?
Save time and to gather more heroes.
Okay. Because you also use more builders when building a wall, right? So this is
exactly. So I could say I only get 2 builders at a time, but I can pay gold for 24 hours to get 4 builders.
Okay, I get it. Is this gold a part of the monetization of the game, or how you do with the monetization in Legends at War?
Absolutely. So in our beta phase right now, where of course number one is gameplay and optimizing our KPIs for our players and whatnot. But yes, the gold is a strategy. So of course, if you purchase in gold, that helps monetize here. Of course, we're going to have specific NFTs that you can buy that your hero can wear. But one of the big monetization strategies are tournaments. We talked about that very briefly. I know, Raph, you've seen kind of on the outside a little bit some of the tournaments, but we've held 3 large tournaments where, of course, in our beta tournaments, it's a little bit different. You join in, you get a city on a new map, and you go out there, and the goal is a fewfold. One, you try to get in the top 150 of the leaderboard, or you try to capture 5 specific cities. One city is the main city, then we have 4 regional capitals. If you get those, you win some rewards. But what's cool about this kind of feature is it's NFT gated. So you buy an NFT, you'd say, you pay $10 for a land NFT, that secures your spot, and then 70% of that goes back to the prize pool to make sure the players that really put it in there get it there. 30% of course goes to the Legends of War ecosystem.
Okay, I get it. So it's like 2 revenue streams. One, let's say the basic or the default, like when the tournament is not on, it's like buying gold. And the second one is during the tournament, right? So you just kind of buy a ticket. I know how to call it, but
you buy entry to it because previously our first 2 tournaments were kind of more game.
Okay, we lost him. Okay, I'll check if he's available on Telegram. Just give me a sec. Okay, online. Good sign.
The great return.
Yeah.
Okay, where'd you lose me?
Well, I think that we lost you somewhere when you were describing this ticket part of monetization.
Oh, okay. So essentially, the way it works is like we've had 3 beta testing tournaments. Our first one, we only had 500. Our second one was a few thousand. Our third one was 25,000 people in it.
Okay, we'll ask him again. Maybe it's a kind of forbidden subject, right?
I'm being cut out. What is happening here? I think it's there was a Discord update that pushed through on my desktop, and it's being kind of weird. It just keeps restarting and trying to steal me. So I'm going to stick on my mobile for right now. So I'm going to say this for the 3rd time. I don't know how much you guys have heard.
Maybe just better don't say it.
Don't say. Okay, tournament good. Many people have fun. Battle. It could be 7 to 14 days. Thousands of people working towards the same goals. It's a way to, best case scenario, you win sizable amounts of money. Worst case scenario, you have an incredible time playing. And what we do is during these tournaments, you have soulbound tokens or certain NFTs that are only available in these tournaments that augment your player base. So it's very, very cool to get these special abilities, and you'll kind of see in the RPG component how they play out.
Okay. Cool. So this is kind of a, let's say, 2 revenue sources. I think that we actually covered the monetization part, but my question is now about the other features. So maybe let's go. This is not the consecutive, but chat. How chat is used? So in terms of diplomacy, if you have a clan, do you use your chat to manage this clan, or should you create a separate website like we used to do 20 years ago or something?
Yeah. So right now, because we are in beta, our chat feature does have, you have a global chat where you can just trash talk anywhere, but you do have a local chat and you can talk to your clan. What a lot of people in our community right now prefer to do is kind of join our Discord, and we can of course make private, if you have a clan, we can make a private chat for you, but it's a good way for people to join in there so they can do voice chat 24/7 as they're talking through strategies and going through. So usually what the chat feature in the game is used for is kind of general, meeting people, getting to know them, saying, hey, let's talk in Discord more. Let's see if we want to join a clan. Or you could send individual messages. And this is where I get my classic old school approach. Can you hear me all right, Raph?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is where my old school approach, this is from the Xbox Live days. I do individual mail, like trash talking. Like I go in, you could send a mail. You can, if you're trying to just one-on-one unions, the person isn't checking chat, isn't looking there. I could send you mail and I could say, "Hey, Raph, you smell," and then you could be like, "I'm gonna wage war on this guy," or I could be like, "Hey, Raph, sorry, it's sent too early. You smell nice." And you're like, "Oh, this is a friendly guy. I'd like to accept his offer." So it depends how you like to play. Usually, it's if you're in the chat, great. You'll take it to Discord. Again, what really in a tournament I highly recommend is joining our Discord, and we can make you like a little private chat for you, where you of course have to approve everyone that goes in there. Or you can just, when you're first meeting people, click on cities around you and send them a message. Say like, "Hey," again, you can use the Riz I just used on Dr. Raph, or you can do whatever you want. You can talk however you want in the game. Of course, don't talk like an Xbox Live. We will boot you. Just have fun, and you can. Some people like to role play. Some people like to LARP. Obviously, it depends how your gameplay works.
Okay, seems complex like the other parts of the game, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe let's go to the quests. I don't know, section. There was a quest section. Maybe it's somehow connected with challenges we would like to have with you on ChillGG. So if we can jump there, maybe you could tell us a bit more about quests.
So when you first start with the quest, it's simple. It's to teach you how to play the game. It's like, hey, hire 100 infantrymen, 100 knights, 100, something that's going to help you progress in the game. It's explore campfires. It's different ways you can earn silver or gold. Silver, of course, can help hero experience points. Eventually, gold is, as you saw, speed up your gameplay or buy other heroes and different things. But then we also have events that can pop up, and it could say, 24-hour event, attack this city, claim this city. Different quests that people can play against each other where there can be certain victors. What I always like is challenge people, hey, who can hold this city at this time? Wins and quests. You have the ability to whoever has the most cities in this area. Whoever kills the most X amount of units. There's 100 different ways quests can work, and that kind of leads into where our RPG component's going as well, which is our dungeon. That's going to be released today is the 7th. We have 8 days for my most long-awaited feature that has a lot of different quests as well, where it'll be, explore this area, capture this chest. Explore this area, defeat this enemy. And you win, of course, rewards, experience, artifacts, weapons that your hero can hold.
Oh, cool. So, okay, so you can control some conditions as well, right? Okay, so
those quests right now are generated by our team, of course. But yes, those conditions are controllable.
Cool. Let's say that I'm video game streamer, right? And I would like to use ChillGG to create some challenges in your game. I already thought about one when you were describing the game. Who's going to defeat most boars in next 24 hours?
Absolutely.
This is something for you.
I've been barking up that tree. I have been, first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, we nerfed the boars. Oh. We nerfed them. Oh. When in our first version of the beta tournament, those boars were anointed by God. They were so incredibly powerful. I I'm pretty upset still. We nerfed them. I wanted to beat them at their best. But before, they were trained for battle. They were immortal boars. They spawned by Satan. They were cast down from heaven for the original sin, and they wanted to take the revenge on Jason the Great. And revenge they did. I probably had to reset my army, rebuild my army like 17 times. And the worst thing was, it was like Jurassic Park, but with boars. I would see one, and two more would come down from like the mountains, and then their wolf buddy. It was a bloodbath. So absolutely, I like the concepts of fighting boars, fighting wolves, fighting bears, bandits, looting. Because what I can do is I can go to a camp and I can loot items. Pretty simple.
Looting challenge could be nice. Can you somehow? We can somehow probably limit this because, well, you can loot more if you speed up your army, right?
That is true. So there's ways you could speed up your looting process. You can also speed up your army, go to multiple places. You could buy gold to buy more heroes, which means get more armies, which means send them to more more camps. But here's the catch. If I know you're doing that, I'm probably going to loot your hometown. Huh. If I know you're out there at every other place, I can send a scout to your city and I can say, wow, no one's home. All right, well, he's doing all that. He collected all this stuff. He's doing really good at this competition. I'll let him go out to all the bandit camps. I'm just going to rob from him.
How will you know that?
That's always enough.
How will you know that no one's in my city?
How will I know? So one of the things is just coming in and checking it. You'll literally see them. But that's why it's very good to add what's called watchtowers to your city. That increases the visibility of your army, and make sure that you leave a standing army there to protect you. And of course, you get notifications when your army is being attacked or defeated.
Okay.
That you need to open up the game and say, okay, I gotta get back here. This is bad. This is really bad. And then you reach out. You send messages like, I'm sorry, I said you smelled. I need you here now. They're taking my stuff. I'm gonna lose. I'll split the winning with you. Whatever you got to do. And that's one of our things. Raise rice. So there was technically 3 winners of our first tournament, and this was before early days of our diplomacy. This was back November 2022. So Raise Rice and his partner, they went through and they're like, you know what? We met here. We're going to split this. We're both in advantageous positions. Let's make sure that we don't attack each other. So let's just sit next to each other, be friends. We'll split whatever winnings, and we're going to pay off. There was a girl that was Southwest. She wasn't a big threat, but she protected them. They said, protect them. We'll give you $100 for our winnings. Stay there. They actually both got cash winnings, and they both got a brand new gaming computer for that one. So it was a perfect example of realizing that, like, hey, if we both try to fight each other, we might destroy each other, and then someone could swoop in and win it. Or we could say, hey guys, like, let's split our winnings. If we stick together and we can trust each other, we're unstoppable. Because they were flanked by water on their west side. They made a deal with their west side. I mean, it was perfect. It was a perfect example of diplomacy and everyone winning.
Is there a way, or maybe even a score, how you can assess the strength of the alliance or the clan? Is there some number?
So you can go, there is a number based on the power of your armies. You can go through and you can put it, so you can, of course, have the size of the clan, which depends, but then you can go through and additively see the power of each army. Absolutely. And then, of course, power is augmented because it's not as simple as just putting the most amount of troops into something. Because even if I put the most amount of troops, only so many troops.
What I'm trying to figure out is that if, let's say that I'm still the streamer, right? And I would like to invite you to the second challenge. Maybe this challenge would be for you. Who will create the strongest alliance in the next 7 days, for example, but using maybe even 0 gold. This will be kind of a fair play. Use no gold and build the strongest alliance.
I would like, so in my opinion, strongest alliance, yes, we can estimate that based on your army size. But that's not as interesting to me as which alliance can hold the most cities.
Okay, this is interesting. Okay, this is the good indicator as well.
Exactly, because that way, like, if I'm just building my strongest armies, I could buy a bunch of heroes, and I can just spend my time building armies. And yeah, people can attack me, but it's a lot easier. It's a lot one-on-one. But if I'm saying, hey guys, do you think we can capture 20 cities? Because now some people are playing offense and people are playing defense. You're waking up, you're watching your cities, you're making sure that, okay, I'm being attacked. in 11 out, like I got to take out this trebuchet. What the cool thing is, because these battles, like we only saw, I was attacking by myself, and you'll see, it takes some time to maneuver. The reason why it takes some time to maneuver in those cities is because it's built for real-time battles of up to 100 players. So when you have a giant tournament, it's not just going to be you versus the person that owns that city, especially if it's an important city like a regional capital. It could be you and 68 of your closest allies attacking, 22, 32 defenders. Like, it really gets kind of crazy. So it builds out. So you maneuver there, and you have to hope that you guys, one person maybe just made the ranged attack, one person just focusing on getting resources back and forth, one person's just focusing on destroying trebuchets or protecting trebuchets. So that's kind of a cool aspect that we like to see in the tournaments. And it's also cool to see if you're forcing people to try to capture those cities, you'll see larger scale battles.
Great. A question about these people cooperating somehow and splitting rewards, for example. Is there a way we can create challenges or assess who's the best trader, for example, who makes most on trading or has the biggest volume or, I don't know, profits?
That's a great question too. Obviously, we could pull endpoints for the biggest trades. We'd have to create simple rules of how we qualify the best trader. But absolutely, because it's important to have marketplace trades out there. Who collects the most stone without, building quarries?
Mm-hmm.
Who's collecting, and which the only way to do that would be there's two things. There's abandoned quarry mines that you can go and loot, which people are going to be fighting over, or you can trade for people. You can go and say, you can add value to them. You can say, I'll build you 80 carts. And what carts are used for? So we didn't get much into it. There's machineries that I can put on my army. I can have like a Gatling gun, battering, not a Gatling gun, but like cannons, a battering ram that breaks down walls easier. So if there's a lot of walls and I hate that person, I'm going to bring some battering rams, very slow, but it's going to destroy the wall so I can move easier through. Or I bring carriages. And what carriages do is they allow you to carry more resources back. When I'm looting just alone, I can basically stuff in my backpack, If there is $1 billion gold, I may only be able to carry 1,000 gold back because I didn't bring much. If I bring 10 carriages, I might be able to bring 3,000 gold back, or if I upgrade them, 5,000 gold back. So it'd be interesting to see people be like, all right, I'm just going to focus on building value for other people and trading only for stone. Now, the side effect is a lot of people doing the challenge will also be doing the same thing. So it'll have to be, you have to see how the market reacts to it, which will be interesting.
Okay, I get it. Well, I think that this is actually enough. And also, what I can tell right now is that there is a lot to support the long-term retention for sure, right?
Absolutely.
What about the short term? So let's say the first day or maybe first 3 days. How you plan to retain players within this, I don't know, probably hardest period, right? Because most people churn at the very beginning. What's your idea? What are the features meant to retain players at the very beginning?
Okay, that is a great question. One of them, of course, is an updated tutorial that walks you through, and the quest system we talked about. Simple quest systems at the beginning to keep you engaged, keep you having fun, make sure that you can build a lot in the beginning. You could see, that's why kind of our early stage building doesn't cost any gold if you're doing, kind of quick building. It's easier to see campfires. Usually will spawn you near a campfire, so you can easily go and battle boars, battle bandits, see what that kind of low level fighting is like. But one of the really cool features, what we're releasing in 8 days, Raph, I don't know if you could share your screen with the video I shared you.
I can try. You shared 2 videos. If you can just let me know which one, the first one or the second one.
Here we go. 1 second. Let me see which. So share the first one.
Okay. It's
please.
05. Okay. Sec. Okay, sharing. This one?
Let me see. Yes, that's perfect. So this is a big feature of a retention component. So when you first enter in to the game, of course we're an MMORTS at heart. It's all built around MMORTS. But one of the important things, at least for me as a player, especially from my Oblivion, Skyrim days, playing my RPG component, is being able to really see my hero evolve. So as you saw, I saw my character in the top left. This is the character that leads my armies, the character that I update my skill set, the character that I equip different weapons with. Here is our updated, this is our kind of quest gameplay, our RPG gameplay that you're able to do in the first 3 days. You're able to start with. So what it does is when you first join, you customize your character. You choose face, you choose general look, appearance, armor, you choose the name, and you build him out. And this is the character that enters our RPG mode. After we kind of finish this video, I'll share with you a little bit more so you can see equip hero, add to city storage. I'll share an actual picture of what the quest mode looks like. But when you first enter the game, you start with a quest like that. You're going to enter with a small map, and it's kind of a 3D, third-person gameplay view where I'm walking through with my hero. I have to slash through. I have to collect some rewards. You'll see there's silver and artifact and experience, and then I enter my city. And now what I'm working towards is getting my castle up to level 5, where I unlock what's called dungeons. So a dungeon is a way that while my armies are going off to these large-scale battles, we talked about them. It can take a long time to get to these other battles. It takes a long time to capture a city because we have people all over the world, and these are cities you spend a lot of time building. So what you can do is you can have a hero while one hero's out doing a 13-hour battle. I can take my hero, send him into my dungeon, and I can play quests. And these are really fun quests. It could be go capture, go defeat this hero at the end of, this long hallway. I slash through all his mercenaries. I build it up. I can grind on that hero and level him up so then I can eventually put him back into battle and attack other people. I'm very, very excited about that. And again, it's a part of the early stage retention strategy. So within 3 days, you're unlocking this feature. I add a dungeon to my city. I go in there, but also when I'm going to loot other areas, it's not just sit there and passively loot. I have to go in there and I have to fight for it in this RPG component to get the stuff. I have to go in there and I say, you know what, I'm going to go through, I'm going to loot. Not only did I bring carriages, I have to slash my way through and I'm going to claim, 40, 50 gold. I'm going to claim 2,000 stone. It's a very, very engaging way. I'm actually going to share a quick screenshot of what that looks like here, if you don't mind. But it's very exciting.
Please, sure.
Opinion. I'm biased. I'm quite biased. Let's go back in here. Let's see. I'm going to share it in the chat here. So you can see here, this is the look of that kind of 3D gameplay component. I don't know if Dr. Raff, if you can share your screen again to pull it up. I just want to make sure I don't mess with this now while we got a good thing going.
On it.
All right.
A sec. Okay, that's it.
So there we go. So you saw before kind of the 3D Unity built real-time lighting cities we have. A lot of other city builders you'll see in MMORTSs or regular RTSs are single view, kind of a flat image that you build. It's really cool for us that we have historically accurate areas you can kind of spin around, zoom in, zoom out, really see them working on. But this is kind of the classic RPG component. So this is a image kind of from what it's like. You can see I have speed, I have shield, I have attack. There's the health of the Crusader. I go in there and I get a quest, and you'll see the map in the top right. Very simply, I'm at Rose Lake here. I can see there's some enemies, there's an exit, and there's a quest. I'll go talk to King Harold. I'll go get a chest, and my hero will have to go through here, hack and slash his way to collect those items. So it's a very cool mixture of the RPG component and then into the RTS that I think is going to really help retention and really help with short and medium-term gameplay while you work on your long-term strategy.
This is actually pretty interesting. So when I'm during my first session, let's say I just was acquired. Let's just assume I just was acquired. I saw some advertisement. I installed the game. I see this, right? So this is my first experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I play a bit of this RPG part, and is it like in a day 0 I already start building my city, or does it come somewhere later?
Absolutely. So it's day zero. So the RPG component when you enter is really a way. It's a great narrative way to enter you into that story, so you feel like you're part of that world. So now it's not just I'm getting Zephrenius, Monkius, Legavius, handed to me. I'm building my character. I'm taking time to make his facial features. I'm choosing his stuff. I feel like now I'm a little bit, even if I don't realize it, I'm emotionally invested in that character's well-being. I follow with him a little bit. Okay, now I'm entering his world where I get to build his city, and that guy I'm going to be on the governance side, building his city, building his army, and I'm working towards being able to unlock more quests for him. So it's going to be a narrative pathway into the RTS, and then kind of telling you how to progress in the RTS to be able to, fight with him more in that third-person gameplay, and how to transition to larger scale RTS gameplay. So day zero, you'll get to experience both.
So we start at day zero. Is there a long-term plot for this character? So I built my character, and this RPG gameplay just goes through the whole period of my retention in the game. Or is it like first 3 days RPG, then the character, the hero is ready, and we are going to the multiplayer mode?
So I wouldn't say it's a serial plot necessarily because then for a serial plot, meaning that it has, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, at least in this phase, that means it has an end. It's episodic, which means there's infinite episodes. So for as long as you want, you can make more heroes. Like we said, we had multiple heroes that I had in one city.
Yes.
You can make more heroes. So each of them could be going through different episodes that you could be doing through fighting. There's always going to be something to fight with your hero. There's always going to be a dungeon to go in there. It's not just
so
this RPG
mode. Sorry for interrupting. I can just come back to this gameplay and hack and slash, right? Do some dungeons. This is it?
Yep. Yeah. So you can, as long as you unlock the dungeon in your city, you can go there and grind with them. Of course, you're eventually going to max out that hero, but you can always get, the end level hero kind of stuff. Like you can now be like, all right, well, in a tournament, I want to win, I don't know, a flaming shield. I want to win some sort of thing that this guy can wear, so everyone knows that I am that guy. I am the badass owner of Zephronius Monk, first of his name, slaughterer of Dr. Wrath, whatever titles you want to get. But yeah, you can go and play as long as you want, of course, as he has time to level up, gain more experience, and customize him for what you want. But then, of course, as you're playing more and more, that armor is not forever. So you're going to have to go and you're going to have to go into the RTS component, work with the blacksmith to make new armor for you, correct your items. Everything has a lifespan.
Okay, so, this is pretty interesting. Yesterday we had a workshop with Alaska, and they also kind of had a, maybe not completely, but at least a bit separate gameplays. So there was let's say a default PvP gameplay, but there was also kind of a single player mode gameplay, which at some point can be mixed with this multiplayer mode. But seems like I don't know if it's not the same, right? But it's probably
it's a similar concept.
Yeah.
Because the MMO RTS component is most exciting when you're playing against a lot of other people. You're playing a lot of other people, but it takes time. It's a different style. But especially for me, sometimes in the middle of the night, I just want to hack and slash. I want to play single player mode, and that's what the dungeon is. You're going in there. You're just having fun. You're going through. Now, eventually, could that combine with a multiplayer version? We do have talks about that, depending on the feedback of this RPG. Again, this hasn't been released yet. It's 8 days from now, so I'm counting down the days. September 15th.
Yeah,
we're going to release this. You guys can test it.
Okay, so we are, we're looking forward as well. But because I think that, actually, this game mode is pretty good for chill GG, to be honest, because you have, let's say, you can control the environment, right? In massive multiplayer environment, it's pretty difficult to control the environment of the challenge, but here you can easily create a challenge for your viewers. For example, who's going to, I don't know, probably there are some monsters there, right? So who's going to kill most, I don't know, boars? Let's stick to this boars, right? Boars in the dungeon using a certain sword, for example. So this is
that's a great point. there you could do it. Yeah, you could limit it. You could say, hey, who can, using the great sword, who can kill the most, crusaders or boars, and you have this amount of time. Those are very interesting things because then it's like, it's you versus you. There's going to be a clear winner.
This is what actually Chill GG challenges are about, right? So it's a set of mixed conditions and then a goal. Cool. Please also collect data about received damage, dealt damage, etc. So we'll have more interesting challenges. Yeah, cool.
That's what I think. What really is important, and what especially we want to see from your communities, we'll of course give prizes and whatnot. Yeah, we want that. We want the Chill GG community to play and be like, wow, I wish I could XYZ, because this is the time to do that. Because we'll say, now that's what we're going to work towards. We're going to make it so you can XYZ. I'm sure I'm going to have the same things. I hate boars now. I hate them, but I love them. They're like, I want to say I'm Obi-Wan, they're Anakin. Well, they're Darth now. They're Darth Vader after he turned. Like they're weak now. They're older. Okay. But I love the choosing quest and finding out ways, because then it also depends how you build your character. Because you'll have to have a DPS character if you're going to focus only on damage. Or maybe we do most damage taken and not killed. Who knows? There's a lot of different different ways we can do.
Yeah, this game mode actually looks pretty cool. Fits the idea of challenges. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how it works. Also, it looks kind of different. I already saw that you presented a bit of new UX, and this is from this mode, right?
Yeah,
cool. Great. I have only last question. Already answered it, maybe, but I don't know if it was a full answer or full description. What's off and on chain in the game?
That's a great question. So really, on chain is going to be your cities, your heroes, your artifacts, and your buildings. So that's a big part of kind of our tournaments. We want to make sure, also, battle mechanics, so you can see who won, who lost. We record certain actions in the battle on chain to make sure we can verify it. One of the reasons why we do that is, well, first, of course, with the NFTs, I'll talk about the tournaments first. The way we record it in battles is so that if we have, say, a $10,000 prize, say a $100,000 prize, we have large prize tournaments. There's going to be people that try to cheat. We've seen it even with a $10 prize. People try to cheat regardless.
We have people trying to cheat in free USD challenges in League of Legends.
Yes, exactly. It's always, there's going to be people that they want to win. They don't care if they earned it. It's still winning to them if they find a way to trick it. So we want to make sure that when you're putting your trust in this to enter the tournament, you can audit it. We can have a third party audit it, and it can be, okay, here's how they won. Here's the battle. No one was able to hack and, I don't know, add an extra 1,000 people. No one was able to add 400,000 power without needed. That's what's super important, to be able to register that all on the blockchain. If they found some way, they're disqualified. It's a way to keep everyone honest in a battle and to be able to audit it and make sure everyone. We want to add value to your players. So like when I played World of Warcraft, this was 2008, 2007, that time period. Blizzard owned everything. You might spend a year in the game, but Blizzard owned that year. If they wanted to, they can ban your account. I've had it happen to friends. They lose everything. They'll just ban your account, and now you lost everything. So a big part of your hero, your city, everything being an NFT is you own it. That's yours. I can't, even if I become, a disgusting lord of my fiefdom, I want to steal everything. I can't take your heroes, your city. I can't steal those NFTs from you. Those are for you. And one of the cool things about it, and I think that really pushes it, is the rarity aspect. So in an NFT, of course, you can have true rarity. You can have 1 of 1s, you can have 1 of 10s, and you can track chain of ownership. So for example, we can have a tournament where you can win Helm of Halfthor, Helm of the Thor from Game of Thrones. Very, very exciting. Now that's worth real value because it's going to augment your player, but also the skin is going to look really cool. And now you have a way to make money for yourself by trading that, on OpenSea or wherever you wish to trade your NFT. But also it's something that I've chased after since the late 90s with Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I don't know if you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! But obviously I'm a nerdy kid. So Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the core features of the game, and same with Pokemon, any collectible game is. In the game, they played cards against each other. It was always for like your soul, eventually, for whatever reason. But there was 4 cards called Blue Eyes White Dragons. Only 4 in the world. Everyone in the world played this game. There's only 4.
Oh,
And
really?
then, like, the first episode, spoilers, if you haven't watched this episode from 1998, I'm sorry. I think Yugi loses it, and they tear up one of the Blue Eyes. Now there's only 3 in the world. Like, it's insane. And everyone's like, oh my God. And then there's these Egyptian god cards. There's only 1 in the world. And they're like, we have to destroy them. So they buried them. And then someone found them. I don't know if they remember that you could rip them up, but they buried them. So I always thought that was super cool because when I got the Yu-Gi-Oh game, hey, I had 2 Blue Eyes. What are the odds? My friend had 6. My friend had 4. Like, you can get a ton of them. There was never ever that true rarity because it was printed. Why would they do that? But on blockchain, you could truly be like, oh, we're only making 2, man. These are 2 of 2. You can now fight over him. You can find it. You're going to find that guy. You can say, I can't believe he has the Blue Eyes White Dragon sword. I want that. I want to earn that. It's something to feel cool about and something like you earned. Because even World of Warcraft, Legendary, when I had a hunter, I would go after the legendary creatures, but everyone else could also go after the legendary creatures. Or in an RPG, I can get the coolest sword in the game, but so does everyone else that played 50 hours. It's a cool way to get something special for you and to show that you were good enough and lucky enough.
It's an interesting point of view, to be honest. A question here. Let's say that, okay, city is mine, right? But what if someone captures the city?
That's a great question. So, if you only have 1 city, people cannot capture your city.
Okay. So I can lose my second city or the third city, for example, right?
Yes, you can lose no matter what. If you have 2 cities, one of them is up for grabs. It could be any of them. If you only have 1 city, you cannot lose it because that would kick you out of the game. So we have city protection.
Just hypothetically, let's say that I have 2 cities and you are a very big city with a big army. Can you capture my city and sell my NFTs from this city you captured?
So for which on the big city?
Yes. You are a big player. Let's say that you have a great army and you defeated me. So you captured my second city. I still might have my first one, but you have the second one. Can you sell out buildings which were there?
Well, yes, you could go and claim it and then decide to sell it, but also you have newbie protection. So there's certain levels of protection to prevent that from happening.
Okay, but this can happen. This can happen. This is
really you can't attack. You can't do that to someone that's X amount of levels removed from you.
Okay.
So it's not going to be this predator thing where there's a super, because then that would suck. There'd be a super city that would just be able to take it. You can't. You're going to not be able to attack. So say someone is a level 4 castle, you can't come from your level 20 castle and just loot them and just find an easy way. You have to be within a certain variable of that player.
Okay, so there is a range of of levels, right? Okay.
There's a range of levels. Of course, if you are going to attack that player, then we can't be a big brother and say you guys can't fight. But the player can't choose to wage war on you if there are X amount, 2 standard deviations removed from your power level.
Actually, it's okay because I'm still referring to challenges, but if we can create a challenge as defeat most enemies, it's not like the biggest one will defeat all the newbies. But so you fight amongst people who are
the same power level.
Yeah, somewhere around your size, right? Okay, that's cool.
So it's not going to be. It's not an easy way to, because then that just ruins it. If you can always be beat up by the bigger person, then it's not going to be fun for the smaller players who are just trying to learn and figure it out. Because it's all a battle.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not a battle. You're extremely small. So it is framed, and even if you just start, when you have a new city, you get newbie protection where no one can attack you regardless of their level.
Okay.
So in the first day, you have a day or 2 to build.
Well, that's great. Actually, a couple of new things I learned about the game. So this is pretty interesting. I covered all my questions. So I already know how you retain players. The first days are actually a surprise. This is pretty interesting. Also pretty interesting for us. I think the challenges are, well, to be honest, easier to make in this hack and slash mode.
I think they're really exciting, the hack and slash mode. So we'll have to go through, play it, see what we can do. See, of course, you mentioned some great ideas, but maybe the rest of the Challenger community has ideas as well. And we'll talk to make sure we have those endpoints in the game when we try it out. And after you try it, you might have more ideas.
Yeah,
I might have more ideas.
It's actually pretty.
But yeah, it's very, very cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Let's test it ASAP.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And also the monetization part is actually clear, but I think that there is also a third layer here, because it's not only about your monetization as a publisher of the game, but also probably the monetization or even earning will be a subject among players. Can you make money on this game, or you can sell NFTs, right? So you can probably make some money.
Exactly. That's a big part of it. You can add value to your game. So that's what we talked about in Blizzard. I believe I stopped for a second. World of Warcraft, there was a complete underground mode of people making money full time by getting legendary items and selling them, upgrading characters, selling their characters. Except if they found out you were doing this, Blizzard would shut down your account. For us, we say, if that's what you want to do, you can level characters and sell them on OpenSea. You could sell your rare NFTs. You could sell your, if people don't want to spend 20 hours making certain items, you can feel free to sell those items to them. You can make money by providing value to other players. And that's why it's really cool about the blockchain is a scarcity element for certain artifacts that you find. Like I remember the day I found this epic tome in World of Warcraft, and it was worth like 4,000 gold. And at that time, I was working to get like 12 gold, like a week. So 4,000 gold, I found a lottery ticket, and I felt such a high selling that on the marketplace for 4,000 gold. So like that's very, very cool, because I want to feel that excitement of getting a rare artifact drop, like a really rare artifact drop. And then being like, do I want to add this on my player? Maybe it's bind on pickup, or do I want to sell it to someone? Because maybe it's worth $100. Who knows what it's worth if it adds value and someone sees the value in it. So there's plenty of ways besides just the tournaments for people to make money.
Is there any royalties on these NFTs? So do you make money as well on people trading or not?
Yes, we will make a small royalty percentage. We haven't publicly released that, but the goal is to enable the players to really monetize here. Because again, I'm scarred from seeing people just try to find ways to actually sell their time, and then Blizzard shutting them down. My buddies losing all their accounts. So I think it's really cool. If you put the time into a game and add the value, why can't you make money from it?
Yeah, cool. Great. Actually, so there are actually 3 revenue sources, right? Gold, tournaments, and royalties. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Well, great. Actually, that's all. All my questions. Maybe you have any questions right now?
No, I want to say just in general. First, the Dino side scroller game, addictive. It reminded me. I used to have Virtual Boy. I don't know if you know that console. It was Nintendo's worst selling console of all time. But like a lot of their games, I didn't blink during, and my eyes would like dry out. I could not blink during this Dino game. I don't know how people were able to go so far. I was sitting there like, it was very addictive, very enjoyable, just a classic, like a great game. I think that's a brilliant way to get people engaged when you launch a partnership. So hats off to you, Raf. I just think it was a really cool way to get introduced to the community. It shows everyone's there to have fun. I love the idea of being able to create challenges between players as they wish. So I'm really, really invested in finding out the best way to work on the ChillGG platform, the Challenger project, to make in those hack and slash quests, make really cool quests that you guys want to play, because I'll probably end up playing them too. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of opportunity here. I think it's a lot of fun. As long as you're having fun, some people are going to win, make money. But regardless, worst case scenario, you have a great time.
And this is not so worst, right? So this is also a good
scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So no matter what, it's a good scenario.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. 1.5 hours. But less than 2 hours. So yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, somewhere between.
Pretty good.
Cool. Thank you very much for your time. Looking forward to the launch of your new features, also to challenges in this hack and slash mode. Seems pretty interesting. And yes, this is it. So thank you. Have a nice day, because
All right.
your day just begun, right?
My day just begun out here right outside New York, so I'm very excited. It is very hot. I am very warm in this outfit. But Raph, thank you for having me. It's always great talking to you. Thank you for Chill
Likewise.
GG for having me and allowing us to be a part of this organization.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much. Have a nice day one more time. Bye.
Thank you guys. Okay, bye.
Okay, thank you very much. That's it for today. We'll announce new workshops probably next week. I already can tell that we have one workshop confirmed, but please stay tuned. Probably on Monday we will tell the exact date and who's going to attend the workshop. Obviously, this is one of the games we are integrating, but there is a blockchain week next week in Singapore, so yeah, we'll just have to work with projects which have time. So yeah, please stay tuned and see you next time. Bye.